Thank you for joining us today for Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. We have several guests in the studio. First, we will be talking to Michael Toeniskoetter about the great things going on at the Discovery Playhouse. Next, we'll meet Cape County Commissioner Charlie Herbst. Lastly, we will talk to the Cape Girardeau Police Department's new Public Information Officer, Bobby Newton, and what his role entails. That's all ahead next on Cape Chronicle.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor. It's time we take a step forward, come together,
and discover
how accepting our differences can make us stronger.
Welcome to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. The Discovery Playhouse has been in operation since 2006 and is still going strong. We are here with Executive Director Michael Toeniskoetter to talk about the Playhouse and the exciting things happening in it.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me on today.
You bet, Michael. Good to see you.
To be here. Thank you, sir. I hope you survived all the weather that we've been having, the ups and downs.
Oh, absolutely. We always get through it. So your place is actually a great place to be at, no matter what the weather is like.
That's right.
2006. So how long have you been the executive director for?
I took over about 2 years ago, the end of 2020, and it's been kind of a whirlwind ever since then. So we've been in that facility for a little over 10 years. It started in the mall in 2006, and we moved in there in 2010.
It started in the mall?
Started in the mall. It was all volunteer run. It was open on the weekends, and then Leadership Cape, I believe, is what conceptualized it to grow into what it is today. So we're really excited for that, and we've been growing leaps and bounds over the past 2 years.
So, being a father, my kids have been in there several times, and it's been great just to see the progression from how it started very early on. I think it was just the first floor very early on. So just take us through a little tour, so to speak, as you walk in the front door, what people will see when they arrive and bring their kids.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have been out there recently or haven't been out in a while, the first floor is still kind of the same. We have a lot of the fan favorites that were in there, the bank, the grocery store, different things like that. We are building onto those fan favorites and the things that have been put in there for quite some time. We're really working to put education back into everything that we do. We have 2 educators that are on staff now. We have several members from the university's education department that sit on our board, and we work very closely with them to ensure that we are packing education into our facility. We don't want to lose any of the play. We want to make sure we keep and even add to that, but we want to give that component of education as the foundation for everything that we do. So our first floor is generally geared towards 8 and under, and that one is a lot of fun. We started adding in some things for those that are a little older than 8 because they could get bored down there.
Sure.
But then our upstairs is where it's really at. If you are an adult, you'll even enjoy our upstairs. When you go up the stairs, there's an airplane, a full-size Cessna airplane in the building that you can get in and pull all the buttons and levers. We are currently expanding that. Cape West Rotary has taken over that, and we want to thank them for that. They're going to help us expand our airport to include a flight simulator, paper airplane launcher, a lot of fun stuff there. Next to it is the planetarium, which we've refired back up. We're excited for the eclipses that are coming up in October of this year and April of next year. We've been working with SEMO, a local group that is going to be putting on an expo with the city and the university in July to really push those eclipses. So our planetarium's up and running, and then we have our dinosaur lab. You guys might have heard something about that through the news recently. We are the only museum in the country that we know of that is currently offering the hands-on paleontology experience that we're doing. You can come in there on the weekends. We have performers that are trained to work with you, and they let you work with actual dinosaur fossils that came out of Montana. You do the paleontology work. You dig through it all, find it. We're going to let you glue it back together, and we're really excited for that. And then as you move through, we have a new zone that's getting ready to open up actually April 1st. It's one of our big events too. But we have a critter zone. We have currently 14 animals that are housed there. Everything from centipedes, tarantulas, frogs, chameleons. We have a snake. She's 14 years old and she's blind. And all of that is a big goal to teach people, because a lot of times we're afraid of spiders and snakes, and we think kill them all. And
right.
It's like, why are you afraid of them? Yeah, the yucky stuff. So we want to show you that those things are helpful and teach you about them, and show you things that you may not be able to see within our local area. We don't really have a lot of things that you'd see at the conservation center. We don't want to step on their toes. We like them, and so we want to offer some experiences that you may not have here in the local area, and then necessarily don't want you going to St. Louis or Memphis for those if you can have them right here.
Absolutely. So when you kind of answered this earlier, when you're trying to decide on something new to add, what kind of goes into that thought process? Have you maybe seen something in another facility that works really well, or I know you mentioned that educational piece. Is that kind of the underlying, okay, if this can hit that component, then yes, this could work for us?
Right. No, that's a fair question. We have 30 exhibits in there currently, and everything we do has to meet with our mission. In 2018, or the end of 2018, our board met and repurposed our mission, and our mission is to create learning laboratories for the local area for families and children to make them better leaders and more responsible as they grow and learn through fun and play. And so anything that we do, that starts off as our core, as our foundation. And so we want to make sure that we meet that mission. And
sure.
It's absolutely true. When we go to other facilities or to our annual conferences, we see all kinds of fun and exciting things. And so we want to bring that back to our community.
And typically, you mentioned the Cape Rotary Club. Are you trying to pair that exhibit with a local business or group of some sort?
Right. It's a good question. We always get asked, why does it cost so much to come in the door? Unfortunately, we're a nonprofit, and so we depend heavily on community support. When you're in there, you'll notice quite a bit of organizational logos around the facility. We try to match up them closely with those exhibits, and so we are always grateful to our sponsors who help make that possible for us.
I know April the 1st, you have an event coming up.
Yes, and we'll talk about that real quick. Breakfast with the Bunnies, it's an annual event. We have pancake and sausage breakfast, all you can eat. We hide over 5,000 eggs in the course of 4 hours.
Wow.
The Easter Bunny comes out. We have chickens, ducks, and we have these rabbits. They're called Flemish Giants, and they're the size of toddlers. They're real. I've never seen them before until last year. They're gigantic rabbits, and the kids get to come out and interact with them. Adults get to eat too. It's a huge event, and it's a lot of fun.
And that's April 1st. That you can just show up for that?
We'll have reservations. All that's going to go live the 1st of March.
Okay.
So you guys can be on the lookout for that.
And I know summer camps are big
Right.
when kids are out of school, and you offer those as well.
We do. So check us out in July. All that's going to be going live actually April 1st as well. All of our registration will be online. If you don't follow us on social media, Facebook is our primary thing. So check that out. We've got Space Camp and Dinosaur Camp coming up, and those are a blast. Even adults want to go to them.
I was in your facility about 2 months ago and hadn't been in there for a little while, and I noticed you got a nice meeting room, party room. So you do birthday parties, you do meetings, the whole thing.
We do everything, and we have become so popular. Attendance has increased by 44%. That now our theater can also be utilized for parties and events like that.
So if we got about 20 seconds here, if people want to find out more, where do they go?
You can give us a call at 573-335-PLAY, or go online at www.discoveryplayhouse.org, or check us out on social media.
Michael, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Been talking with Michael Toeniskoetter of Discovery Playhouse. Next, we'll meet with Cape County Commissioner Charlie Herbst. Stay tuned. More coming up on Cape Chronicle.
People think that online degrees are very daunting and they're very nervous because it's in your hands. But it actually gives you the power and the flexibility to be able to complete those tasks whenever you have the time to do it. I definitely wish SEMO keeps expanding those online degrees because they're beneficial. They made or break my career.
Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. Charlie Herbst is the Associate Cape County Commissioner for the 2nd District. Today he will talk with us about what is going on in the county and any upcoming projects. Charlie, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Michael.
How you been?
For the invitation. Great.
Good. Cape County, so how long have you been a county commissioner
It's
for?
my 10th year.
10th year?
District commissioner, yes.
Wow. And I know, the little that I know about what happens, each commissioner kind of has their own piece that they oversee. Is that correct? Or
Yes, the county is made of 3 commissioners. One's presiding commissioner, Clint Tracy, and he's elected by the citizens of the entire county. And then the county then is split up by population into 2 districts, District 1 and 2.
Okay.
District 1 is Paul Kepper responsibility, and it's pretty much the city of Jackson and the out county. And then District 2, because of population, is the city of Cape Girardeau, of which I'm the representative.
Okay. And I know there's a lot happening in the county, always a lot happening. We were talking before we started today just about the variety of things that you have your hands in. And let's just go through a few of those. Talking about budgeting and office space for office holders.
Yes, so as you asked, previous question is commissioners do have responsibilities, and the 3 commissioners do kind of divide up the duty some. I'm over building and grounds. I also share that with Mr. Kepper, and then also IT, and then the juvenile division budget. Mr. Kepper primarily takes care of road and bridges and also shares in building and grounds. Mr. Tracy is over the parks department and emergency operations for the county. We all kind of share in those duties though, but day to day for that. And then as commissioners, then we're responsible for providing budgets to all of the county office holders to perform their duties as prescribed by the statutes.
I know a big undertaking recently was the new courthouse, and I remember hearing you talk about kind of what went into, you mentioned materials and those sorts of things.
Yes.
Some really neat stories on how some of those facilities were put together.
Yeah, so in 2013 when I came on the commission, we decided to do a really comprehensive capital improvement study for the county and looking at our space needs and facility needs and maybe some maintenance items that have been put off for many years on a tight budget. And so we are still using that 2013 study that we did.
Okay.
Sometimes we think in government we do a study for something and it sits on a shelf because it has to be funded and be appropriated. And so we have really dug into that comprehensive study, and one of the biggest projects we had to do was the new courthouse in Jackson, which we started in 2018 and moved into right in the middle of COVID in 2020. And we were on a limited budget for that, and so we looked at ways to partner. And one of our partners in that building was Missouri Vocational Enterprises, which is our prison system.
Right.
They have their own factories to build furniture and to build cubicles and chairs and millwork. And so we utilized a lot of that to help. We saved around $1.25 million by using the prison system to outfit our courtrooms.
Wow.
Although we still, in government, you don't really save money. We spent that $2.5 into the building itself to give us more scope in providing space for the courts.
Okay, so you mentioned that 2013 comprehensive study. There are still some things on that list that you're looking to hopefully accomplish someday?
Yes, there is. One of them that we did check off was the juvenile department. The county provides the budget for the juvenile division, although it is a state of Missouri court division.
Okay.
And they were in 2 different locations and needed space, and so that was one of the items. So we were able to put them in a 10,000 square foot administration building to operate. The next item that we are embarking on now is the new jail is now 23 years old, and so it was built to a 20-year standard, and so we are now embarking on another 20-year standard of a jail addition, which that was something that was identified also in this comprehensive study to do that. And along with that, we have the 1908 courthouse, which hasn't been renovated since 1909, 1908 or so. So we're working on that project also.
So there's always something.
Always something.
I know you also obviously have a lot of roads and bridges that you have your hands in.
Yes, we do. So Mr. Kepper gets to wear the hat as the road commissioner. We have approximately 450 miles of roads in the county. About half are paved. We do have a half-cent sales tax that goes to the road fund. In Cape County, we don't have a road property tax. It's all paid by sales tax, the collection.
Okay.
Maintaining those roads is a challenge. Again, the costs of items have increased. The cost of our material to put down on the roads is twice what it was about 3 years ago. So instead of paving 6 or 7 miles of brand new road a year, we're only doing 2 or 3 miles of road a year. But we have a really comprehensive program to make sure that the roads we have are maintained and kept up so they don't deteriorate.
My family moved to Cape in '89, and there's not a better entry into Cape Girardeau Jackson area than Cape County Park. When you come off of I-55, just a beautiful park, and I know that there's several acres of park that you guys oversee as well.
Yes, sir. We are very fortunate that in the 60s, the county had property that they were able to acquire, and some property that was donated to the county and was dedicated to be a county park. And many people don't remember any longer that the county poor farm, where indigent folks that were found indigent by the courts were actually assigned to live. And there was an actual, where North County Park is, that was a farm. And they raised food there for themselves and then also sold that food. And so as other services and state agencies took over the role of working with indigent folks in the county and the court system, that was converted in the early 80s into an actual park system. So we have about 350 acres that we operate as a county park.
How about a minute left? Is there anything on the specific horizon coming up that is a big project, or I know there's some ballot initiatives coming up in April?
Yes, in April we have the marijuana sales tax, and we just thought it was prudent to put that on the ballot for the citizens to decide for themselves for that tax. Also, the ongoing problem are projects with the new jail, and then also with the new courthouse, or the old courthouse, but the renovation of that to make that space so that we can expand some of our current county offices.
And with that sales tax, that will be a 3% sales tax, is that correct?
Yes, it'll be a 3% sales tax that will be stacked on top of normal sales taxes.
Okay.
And there has been some discussion among the commission that whatever that revenue is, that perhaps that we may look at where we budget that for the best need for the public.
All right, Charlie, it goes quick. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
We'll do it again. Thanks again, Charlie. To end our show, we'll talk with the Cape Girardeau Police Department's new Public Information Officer, Bobby Newton. That's next on Cape Chronicle.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. Patrolman Bobby Newton is the Cape Girardeau Police Department's new public information officer. The police department's PIO is directly responsible for providing information to the news media and the public, with an impressive 27,000 followers on the police's Facebook page. We will learn what Bobby does as the public information officer and how he works with the public. Bobby, good to see you.
Nice to see you, Mike.
Congratulations on your new role.
Thank you.
So you have been with the Cape PD since 2014?
2014, I started my career with Cape Chronicle Police Department.
All right. And what kind of brought you to this point?
So I started as a patrolman, working the road, just like everybody else does when they become a police officer.
Sure.
I spent about 2 years doing that, and then the next phase was narcotics. I worked narcotics for about 6 years, and then after that, I went back to the road as a patrol. And then in January, this position came available, and I love working with the community and getting out and seeing everybody. So
yeah,
I opted for this position.
So, like in this role, like you gotta like to talk, right?
Oh yeah,
you gotta like to talk and converse and exchange ideas.
Absolutely.
I asked you. We said in the opening about the 27,000 Facebook followers, and I know you couldn't take credit for it, but there was a great Valentine's Day post today.
There was, yeah. I've got to give credit where credit's due, and our assistant Sarah, she does some of the social media outlets for us as well, and she came up with that, and it was a great idea.
I think it was what we make your heart skip a beat when you see us on the street or something
and had a picture
like
of
that.
our patrol car.
Yeah,
so.
Because it's true. You know, even whenever you're just cruising along at the right speed, you kind of just make sure things are right.
Even me, whenever I'm driving down the road with the family and I see a police car, I'm like, I got to take a double look at that speed.
Where am I at? I was thinking about the 27,000 and that Facebook post. I see a lot of social media interaction with the Cape PD, and I got to imagine, when you're just looking at potentially getting leads and solving crimes, that's got to be a pretty valuable outlet.
It is. It's great because a lot of the community will interact with us through social media. If they have a tip on a crime, they may send us a message because they don't want to tell everybody that they're helping us. But it's a great outlet, great tool for us to use, and a great tool for our citizens to use to let us know what's going on, because obviously we can't be everywhere at once. We can't see everything, so we rely heavily on the community to be involved with us and to let us know what's going on in their neighborhood.
And I know there'll be posts about maybe a crime that occurred, but it's also great to see that you guys stopped and helped somebody. Just that that community piece that I know is very important to you. It humanizes the badge.
And that's exactly right. That's exactly what it does. It makes us human. Most of the community, they see us when they're needing us. When they have a crisis, and for them to see us in our everyday lives of we're fathers, we're husbands, we're brothers and sisters. Sure. We're normal people. So that we really like to show them that aspect as well.
So on a day-to-day, what is your role as the public information officer? What are you involved with?
So I'm involved with a lot of different areas, but the primary is dealing with news outlets.
Okay.
If they have questions about a crime that occurred or a report that we took, they'll contact me, and then I will get the details and get it out to them. I'll also work on our social media, to keep the public up to date on what's occurring in the city and what's going on. And then other than that, it's a lot of community involvement. If there's an event going on, I try to make those events so that we can have a presence there, and then also just answering phone calls from the community about issues they may be seeing in their neighborhood.
Yeah. So are you if a local school wanted to maybe have the Cape PD visit, would that be something that you might do?
Absolutely, and I encourage that. If you have an event going on and you'd like for us to come out, and we could do a presentation, we could just show up and have a presence, however however they want to see it, we can do. So, and absolutely they can contact me and we can work that out.
I would say your job has got to be a tough one. I mean, because you're really, when you're trying to give information, you can't can't give all the information, but people want all the information. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, so I try to give as much information as we can. Obviously, if it's a critical incident or a continuing investigation, we may not be able to release all of it, but the public has a right to know what their police department's doing, and so I try to let them know what's going on, how we're handling situations, and just be transparent with the community.
I was going to say there's a lot to that transparency. I mean, that's kind of how you garner that trust.
Yeah. And that's the thing, a lot of people, they may drive by the police department or they may see a police officer and they don't really know what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So that's where I come in to kind of relay that information to the public of what's going on.
It's a team effort. I know you mentioned working with the news and news outlets, and you need everybody to kind of be on the same page and working together to cover, to combat crime or to help solve some crimes.
Yeah, it's definitely a team effort with everybody.
All right, I know you mentioned about the community involvement, and there's a couple events that are going to be coming up. One of those is in April, I believe.
Yeah, so in April we're starting a Citizens Police Academy. It's a 9-week academy. We'll meet on Thursday nights, and it's available to anybody that's living or working in the city of Cape Girardeau. It's free, there's no charge for it. And basically what that does is they can sign up for that, come in every Thursday night, and learn what their police department does. So we'll have different areas of the police department that will come in and talk to them, give a presentation, and then they also have the opportunity to do ride-alongs with us as well. And then at the end of the 9 weeks, we'll have a live scenario-based training to where they can actually take what they learn in the academy and implement it into basically live scenarios.
I've not done one, but I heard ride-alongs are fantastic to go and do.
They're great. I highly recommend it.
And then I know we have in August, you have another event coming up.
Yeah, that one's a little bit further down the road, but August 1st is our National Night Out. We have not done that in the last few years. We're bringing it back again this year, and it's nationwide. It's coast to coast. On August 1st, police departments, community, they come together and having basically a night out and talk on ways that they can combat crime in their neighborhoods, things that the community can do and things that the officers can do as well.
Okay, and if they want to find out more about these events?
Our Facebook page is primarily where most of our news goes.
Okay, so can go there. I know City of Cape has links to the Cape PD as well.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to you, and we'll hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.
You've been joining us for Cape Chronicle. This program is a collaboration between the Department of Mass Media of Southeast Missouri State University, the City of Cape, and River Radio. Our executive producer is Eun Jeong Lee. I'm Mike Renick. Thank you for watching.